Hi creative friends, it's me Tricia from Creative Unique Treasures. Thanks for joining me on my channel. I have in front of me, in front of you, is a part of a jean dress, and I ended up cutting it. Flats because I need a piece that is, I'm going to be making an apron, a waitress apron is what they call it, or a waiter apron. And I wanted to make a cobbler apron, and that's a little bit different. That's got a top. I've been learning a little bit about aprons, but I want to do a work apron for work, my new job. And so this one's going to be 22 inches wide across. It's going to be 18 inches tall, but I'm going to have an inch seam allowance on each end, and an inch seam allowance on the sides. So that's where I'm at. So I'm marking it 18 inches up, and that puts me right here. And I don't know why it seems to be going upward, but there, maybe that's good. Okay, so I got that, and I'm going to go ahead and cut that. Grab my scissors. And then I want to do some big pockets. You know, just some nice big, deep pockets to hold stuff at work. And I want to embellish it and, you know, put some appliques on it. But I'm just kind of doing this on my own. There's no pattern I'm following or no YouTuber. So I'm going to see how it works out. I'll cut that. Pretty much that's pretty close. And then I'm going to cut it right here. There we go. So this is the beginning of it. I'm going to go take it to my iron and press it. And then I'm going to put a little bit of a hem and make it a total long rectangle. 22 inches long by 18 inches, approximately 18 inches tall, but I'm going to lose a little bit, so. And then I want to do some big pockets on each side right here. And I think that'll be really cute. And then I might add a little piece of lace or something at the bottom, or a ruffle. So yeah, I hope you join me. If you like this kind of content, stick around and we'll do it together. Try to figure it out. Like I said, I'm not following nobody's YouTube video or anything. I'm just going to do it, try to do something on my own. Try to be courageous and daring. No, just courageous would be good. So stick around. Thanks for joining me. Okay, now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and take it to my machine, and I'm just going to put a 1/2 inch hem all the way around. I already got the bottom edge already done for me, so I kind of cheated that way. So that kind of helped me out. So I'm going to go ahead and put a 1/4 inch or a 1/2 inch seam allowance around this side, the top, and around that other side. And I'll come back and show you. Okay, everybody, I got the this apron. So, I got it all hemmed up, and I got the pockets hemmed up, and I got them pinned on where I want them. And I put this flap, and I ironed it down nice and crisp. And I sewed around with a real, like a 1/4 inch seam allowance with a straight stitch with gold thread on both pockets. I pinned them on, and I'm going to go ahead and go sew straight stitch all the way around all three sides, the bottom and two sides, not this. And do it to this one too. And then I'm going to do it zigzag, I believe. I'll probably do a zigzag and I'll come back and show you. And then that'll be a nice size pocket. I'll get my phone and show you how deep it is. But it's pretty good. So my whole hand goes in there. So I'll go ahead and do that and come back and show you. Okay, here's where we're at on the apron. I went ahead and I put the pockets on. And I decided to go up to make this 2 pockets on this one. So I just did a straight stitch all the way up. And now I can put my phone in the one side. I'll show you. And we have walkie-talkies at work, so I'll be able to put the walkie-talkie inside this side right here. And then this one I'm debating on if I want it to have it just a big full pocket like this, or put, divide it again. Maybe I'll do it right down this way a little bit so I can put my pins or something right in here, a little bit skinnier, and then I have a wider pocket on this side. So I might do that. Undecided. So there's my foam, fits perfectly in there. Now I'm going to do the tie, and I was going back and forth with the tie, and I'm just going to go ahead and do it. If I mess it up, I'll just redo it. I have to get that kind of an attitude with myself. I go through a lot of stuff and looking through all my stash, and I finally just said, just go ahead and make it, and if I mess it up, I'll just redo it. That's what I have to do. And so how I'm going to do my tie right now is I have this more of this, so I want to do it kind of matching. Well, not kind of matching, it's going to match. And I'm just going to fold it over, and then I'm going to take it down to my iron and give it a good press and fold it over again. I think that's how I'm going to do my tie. And of course this isn't going to be long enough, so I'm going to have to add on and make the tie a little bit longer. So this is how I'm going to do it. I'm going to go ahead and do that. And this is about how wide it will be. I'm going to go ahead and pin that down and then cut it. Take it to my iron and give it a nice press. Make it nice and crisp. And so this is going to be about 3/4 of an inch for the tie. And then I'm just going to keep sewing them together. Then I'm going to make a sleeve on the top of the apron, and I'm just going to make a sleeve like a curtain and put it down like that, and then sew it down. And then I'm going to put the tie inserted into the apron. And I still want to do a ruffle on the bottom. So I'll come back and show you how I did. Okay, I did my strap. And what I did was, it was 2 inches, and I folded it in a 1/2 inch here and a 1/2 inch there on the other side. And I pressed it, and then I just went ahead and stitched. And this is how wide. I was going to fold it over again one more time, but I think that's too thin. So it would be like that. And I like it like this. I like it 1 inch. So, and then I connected it because I needed longer. I connected it on different spots. So it's quite long. And I had to cut off all my threads. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to find the center of my belt, my tie. And this is the center of my apron. And then I'm going to fold this over and give it a sleeve like a curtain rod would have, you know, and then I'll stitch this down, and inside the sleeve will be the tie all the way down inside. And that's how the tie will be attached. And when I tried it on, I tried the tie on, and it'll go around and then crisscross in the back and then come back around, and I'll tie it in the front because it's long enough for me. So I like that. That makes it a little more secure. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll come back and show you. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do the sleeve for the belt. And I want to show you that I did do the zigzag stitch down that. And then I did do the smaller pocket for pins. I'll just stick the ruler in there to show you. See, that just goes right in there like that. Pins, and a few different pins. Now I can find it there. Okay. And I did the zigzag and the straight stitch to strengthen it. Now I'm going to go down. I'm going to do the tie on there. Now that I did this one, there's some different changes that I'm going to do to the next one. This one's for me, so I'm not that picky, but if I was going to sell them, I would do a little different. So I'm going to come down 2 inches. And put a piece of chalk, a chalk line there. So I did that all the way across. And I'm going to fold that over. First I'm going to find the middle of my tie, and there's the middle. I'm going to lay it in there. And then pin it on. So I'll go ahead and I got the middle of my tie and the middle of my apron matched up. I'm going to go along and put a lot of pins in there so this doesn't move when I sew it. And I have the wrong side showing on the apron and the wrong side showing on the tie. The only thing I would have done differently, I would have put some appliques on it before I got it all together. This is a little plain for me, but it'll be a nice change. I would have liked to have done a ruffle, but I don't think I will do a ruffle on this one. There, so I got that all done. I'll go ahead and do this side, and then I'll take it to my machine and do a straight stitch, 2 straight stitches down the whole thing, and then I'll come back and show you. Okay, I got it all pinned on. The tie all pinned on. I'm going to go to my machine, do 2 straight stitches. I'll do a straight stitch there and a straight stitch there. Here's what the front looks like. Got it all nice and pinned on so it won't shift around and it won't move. The front of the tie is coming out from here. I didn't want it to twist or go like this. I want the front. And on the same side over here. Okay, I got my backwards tie in, and I went back and forth right here to make it real strong right here. And I think I'm going to go ahead and do a zigzag. I think I have enough thread to do that, I'm hoping. But I'm going to do a zigzag right through here and connect these two together so they won't fray so much. That's what I'll do there. And then I did a top stitch on the front. I did a top stitch, and then I went back and forth to strengthen that. Did a top stitch all the way down and a zigzag right here. That's my sleeve. So that's my mistakes. But I am going to go back to my machine and do a zigzag real fast, and I'll come back and show you how that looks. Maybe that will help it out. I'm hoping. Okay, I'm done with the apron. And I'm going to show you all my mistakes, because I want to show you that it's okay to make mistakes. And if you want to correct them, that's fine. This is for me. I want to let you know I'm not trying to sell this. This is for me for work. And the things I would have done differently. I would have liked to have had a ruffle on something. I like ruffles. So a ruffle or some lace or an applique on the pockets. But as I was going, I just wanted to get this done, and it already took me about a week or two just to get it going. So finding all the different pieces of jeans. I did have different pockets already done, and then I decided just to go plain. The only thing I would change is how I did the tie. I would definitely do a bigger width or tallness, you know, and then fold it over and then have better edges. This is the back side of the tie. I ended up doing a zigzag and connecting them two frayed edges. We'll see right here, I didn't get it quite there, but I ended up having just enough thread. So, and I put this in backwards, and so the next time I won't do that. I did a sleeve, and I like that, how that turned out. I just folded it over the tie, and then I did this is the front side, and I did a top stitch up there and a zigzag at the bottom. I like that. The pockets, I would have probably tried to make them straighter, you know. They're like one's down a little bit, like about a quarter of maybe a half an inch. Yeah, about a half an inch down further. I would have decorated, put a little bit more decorating on it. I did the top stitch like I said up there. This was already done for me, so I didn't have to do nothing there. I put a 1/2 inch seam allowance on the sides. And I spent a lot of time on trying to figure out what I was going to do with pockets, but you know, it was my first one. I didn't go by anybody's pattern on YouTube. And so, yeah, I definitely want to try some more, and I want to do it a lot better. But I wanted to show you all my mistakes. That way you don't have to make the same ones. Not that you're going to make any, but you know what I mean. But thank you so much for joining me on this tutorial, and I'll come back and show you it on me. So it looks really cute. I like it. I like the size. Maybe I would go a little bit, maybe a couple inches wider for my frame, but it's fine for me. If I added a ruffle, it would be perfect. Enjoy your day.
Life is a winding road, no telling where it goes. Driving through days and nights, won't stop for traffic lights.